guys, welcome back to Book Talk with Meg. My name is Megan for those of you who don't know. Hi, welcome, hope you stick around. If you decide to, do not forget to click the subscribe button down below. Today I'm here with part 2 of my haul, which includes both orders from Bookoulet and orders from Amazon. If you have not seen the first part, I will link it up in the cards. It's a chill video to watch. It's all the books I've thrifted over the last period of time. I have some more media things in there as well if you guys are interested. So I'll start with the Bookoulet orders and move my way through the Amazon orders. The first book I see on my Bookoulet pile is That Inevitable Victorian Thing by E.K. Johnston. I know that this is like a fantasy that has to do with politics. I'm not sure if there's not like LGBTQ representation in this. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think this has to do with our main character who is like a descendant in an empire, and she kind of has to marry off, obviously for like advantages for their kingdom. And I think she has one summer off and she kind of goes off on her own and probably discovers herself and probably falls in love. Not too sure, but it sounds like that kind of fantasy book, and it is absolutely stunning, and I've heard mixed reviews but a lot of good reviews. The next book I have is An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson, and this book came signed to my surprise and I was literally shook. I stared at it for I don't know how long. I was so happy it didn't even mention it on the Bookoulet site. This, I know, is a fantasy book revolving around fae, and I believe our main character is a painter, and she kind of paints human emotion in the fae, which is super illegal, and she gets like brought out to the world of fae and that kind of stuff. That's what I think I understood from the premise of this book. The next book I have is The Probability of Miracles by Wendy Wonder. She is the author of a Museum of Intangible Things, which I have not read yet, but this follows our main character who has cancer, and I believe she's been going in and out of treatments and nothing works, and they say she needs a miracle, so I believe she goes to a town in Maine, and the story takes off from there. I think this is going to be a very beautiful but kind of upsetting read. I'm very much looking forward to it. Next book might make me look like trash, but I'll assume it, and it is Semaphore Year is Great to Me, and this is a book following our main character who has always lived in New York, and I think she wants to study like literature or journalism or something there. But her dad has this job that moves them to Greece, and I think she has to spend her Semaphore Year in Greece. This is the kind of light book I'm looking forward in the summer, and it was like $2 on Bookoulet because it's on their like sale section, and I've been looking at it for a while, finally picked it up. Next book I have is Midnight Jewel by Rochelle Mead. This is the second book to the Glittering Court series. I'm guessing that's what the series is called. I haven't read the first book yet, but it's super intriguing to me and it kind of gives me Selection vibes. So I thought the second one is there. The covers are absolutely gorgeous. Might as well pick it up, you know? The next book I have is Life Just Got Real by Sadie Robertson and Cindy Colma. This book makes me think a lot of Sugar and Spice by Lauren Conrad. Basically, this 16-year-old girl is more like of a boyish girl. Like, she likes to do mechanics, she likes to go hunt and do stuff with her dad, and at one point they move to Nashville with their mom, and she goes to this new school where the people there don't really have the same lifestyle, and then this new girl kind of gets popular, and so it's the popular new girl versus the already popular like hierarchy that is in a high school. A little bit of a drama book. I really enjoy them. Next book I have is Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. This book you've seen probably a lot about on BookTube. It's basically this main character who buys a lottery ticket for her best friend's birthday, and I believe the ticket ends up being the winning ticket, and it all goes from there. And also our main character has always been in love with her best friend, so there's the conflict of trying to admit to a friend that you see them as something other than a friend, and dealing with money and all that kind of stuff. Seems interesting to me, but I think I started reading it and it's more of like it starts out in the winter, so I wasn't really feeling it because, I mean, the first day of summer was like literally a day or two ago, so, you know, give a girl a chance to read something that starts on the beach. Moving on to the Amazon portion, the first book I bought was used, and it is The Thing with Feathers by Mikal Hoyle. If you guys have been following my channel, you know this is one of my absolute favorite books. I did not own a physical copy, but I talk a lot about this book, so I will link other videos discussing it so I don't waste more time blabbering about a book I've talked about 10 times. The next book I have is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. This book is a fantasy book that revolves around magic. I believe there's this like town or country, or I'm not sure what it is, that killed off everyone that had magic in order to control the population, but some of the children of people who had magic kind of have it but never learn to control it and can't really use it, and they are identified by having white hair, and the entire story kind of leads off with how they are oppressed and that kind of stuff. I am not too sure what else is in this book, but everybody's been raving about it, so I decided to finally pick it up and give it a chance. Another book I've been raving about, so I won't talk more about, is Listen to Your Heart by Casey West. I have a full review I will put up in the cards, and it's probably one of my favorite books of 2018 so far, so all I have to say is you should pick up a copy of your own, because this is the best contemporary. Like, honestly, it's become one of my favorite contemporaries ever. The next book I have is also pretty popular, and that is Royals by Rachel Hawkins. Again, I like light, fluffy books in the summer, and this has to do with, I believe our main character's sister is getting married to a Scotland prince or something, and so it's all about the like royal events and the royal wedding, and she kind of gets intertwined in that story somehow. So, yeah, again, very light, fluffy read, but I've heard good things about this book, and there was a lot of talk about it on BookTube, so it got me curious. Another book I shouldn't have to explain is Save the Date by Morgan Matson, and what's great about this book is, again, they sold signed first editions, which always cool to have signed books. Save the Date is a Morgan Matson book, so it's a contemporary book, and it has to do with our main character's sister getting married, and it's their last weekend all together in this house that her sister decided to get married in, and basically the story takes off from there. It looks like this, you know those movies where everything goes absolutely wrong in the most humorous way? Well, that kind of put in a book. I'm not usually a big fan of books with weddings in it, but I decided to give it a chance because Morgan Matson is a great contemporary author, so I wanted to see if I like it or not. I guess we'll have to wait and see what I think about this book. Down to the final two. The next book I got is The Raven King, which is the fourth book in the Raven Cycle series by Maggie Stiefvater. Obviously can't say much about this because it is the fourth book, but The Raven Boys has been very, very, very well talked about, and it is the first book in the series. And lastly, we have Replica by Lauren Oliver. I am so late on this bandwagon, but basically I wanted to read this for a while. It was $5 on Amazon, so I finally decided to pick it up. And I'm really intrigued by the concept of like how many ways you can read this book. If you guys have read it, tell me which way you've read it and which way is better to enjoy more of the story, because I'm really not sure how I'm going to go about this book. So that's it for my haul video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!